Mrparka here to do another review. The movie I'll be reviewing is Forgive Me for Raping You. It's another Zebub film, and I got to be really careful with this one. I can't necessarily show really too many clips because the last one I did, well, one of them I did a long time ago, just got me a strike. So anyways, it stars Michael Stevens, and I believe that's this guy right here. I'm not too familiar with the actors' names, but this guy is a Zebub veteran actor, and I'm going to say he's probably the best one. My favorite actor. He appears in Ravaged to Scream Queen, where he's just like this kind of sleazy kind of guy. This one he plays an actual priest, which is pretty insane, and he goes around basically taking advantage of young girls or women and having sex with them, and then you think that he might let them go, but he tricks them and he ends up strangling them, and it's pretty weird, that kind of really sleazy and disgusting. I actually thought that some of the dialogue he said was kind of funny in a way, because what it plays with the Catholic Church and stuff like that. He'd like, "Would you forgive me for raping you? Don't call me father, call me daddy." And it's just really ridiculous. And finally at the end you get to see how he became a priest, which is probably the best scene in the entire film. And just the dialogue he's saying to this priest, the priest is like, "I'm going to call somebody," and it's really funny stuff in a sick, very demented sort of way. A lot of this stuff is not funny at all. The first girl he takes advantage of, and he ends up bending her over the table and performs, I don't even want to say a lot of the stuff that happens, but he takes advantage of these women to the full extent. And there is actually a pretty decent scene in the film where him and this other girl he decides not to rape have a long throughout discussion about why he's doing this. He's lost his motivation, and that's actually a very cool scene, and a little different, and you almost get to see a lighter side of this guy, and that's, you kind of realize this guy is definitely a psychopath. And at the end, when you finally realize how he became a priest, you know he's a psychopath. Period. Anyways, anyone would do that, but it dwells more into how crazy this guy actually is, and how scary it is just that this guy could just get this uniform and just go around and do what he does. Anyways, this is probably one of Zebub's better films, and I don't know whether to rate it as a porno, which is some really terrible softcore scenes that are really kind of sleazy, or an actual film. Like I said, the one downside about the movie is it does incorporate a lot of already used footage from a website, which I didn't really understand what the point of this was. Maybe just filler, but maybe it was trying to tackle the religious aspects of it, but I don't buy it. But I don't know. Maybe it's over my head, maybe it's under my head, maybe it's just nowhere near my head. Maybe I just don't enjoy it. Anyways, the women are pretty attractive in it, but it's not pleasant to watch them get raped, if you know what I mean. Some of the lines he says, people might get a kick out of it because they're just so raunchy and so terrible things to say while doing this. And the first rape scene is definitely the most graphic. He really tricks this poor girl into it, and I would say that definitely is probably the best serious rape scene in the movie that is very hard to watch, I'd say. But Forgive Me for Raping You, if this sounds like something you'd like, which I'm not sure, there's a very small audience, or a very big audience, I'm not sure, there's a lot of nudity, but this type of film would, if you've seen other Zebub's movie like Breaking Her Will or Ravaged Scream Queen, this one's definitely for you. There's a lot of nudity and everything in here. The back blurs out the nudity as the front does, but I'm still scared to show it because of what happened before. Zebub himself says here he decided to show all the horrible aspects of a serial killer, not the normal day, everyday things that they do as well, which is kind of, you know, maybe it's been overdone with serial killers. They kind of show the everyday routine things, which makes them scary, as that they fit in with normal society. This one, he decided to go the polar opposite. All around, it's a really sleazy, just dirty movie with a lot of sex and a lot of rape. And the lead guy is a pretty good sleazeball in this one. I actually saw him at Wasteland, and he was saying, I mentioned I got this to review, and he was like, "I just got it myself," and he mentioned that he was a grandfather and a father, and it was very strange, and I would just imagine how hard it would be to do some of these scenes. But he did pretty well, and the rape scenes in here are very strange because he kind of can talks with the women afterwards and says, "Would you forgive me for raping with you?" He kind of tries to console them, which is very, very weird, and then he turns around and strangles them. All around a very kind of a disturbing, nasty little film. Not the greatest film ever made, and if you guys are familiar with Zebub flicks, you should know what this is like. I mean, like them, love them, hate them, whatever you to decide, you know this is for you or not. So I thought it was actually pretty decent. I actually kind of liked it, to be honest, just because this guy was so creepy. And check it out if this is if you're a Bill Zebub fan. Not his comedy stuff, his kind of more serious stuff. But I thought this was the better ones of Breaking Her Will and Ravager Scream Queen. I thought this was probably the better one. Also probably because it takes a pretty nasty punch at the Catholic Church and everything like that. But have a good one. Not that that's funny, it's just that it's just exploitative terribly to the point of just super exploitative movie. But thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye.
I was really little.
You don't remember anything about him?
I remember him taking me to a park when I was little. I don't really have a lot of memories of him. Do you think there's a reason for that?
You mean like maybe he molested you and you tried to block out those thoughts?
What? No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Don't get upset with me. I'm here to help you. Just bear with some of my methods.
No offense, but I'd be more comfortable talking to a psychologist.
Jen, I'm a licensed psychologist too.
You are? Are you charging my mom money for this visit?
No, I'm here as a priest, but don't look down on what I have to say.
I'm sorry, Father.
Don't call me Father, you can call me Daddy.
What?
Don't question me, just call me Daddy. I want to see if it makes you feel uncomfortable.
It's just weird.
It's just weird what?
It's just weird, Daddy.
Good girl. Now tell me about Mom, and just keep calling me Daddy.
I'm a bit confused as to why you are here.
I'm sorry for rattling on, but I'm here because I'm thinking about becoming a priest.
But you made this appointment because you said you wanted to get some things off your chest.
Well, would you have canceled this appointment if it was about a career change?
Well, it's not that. I just want to hear about some of the things that are troubling you. I'm also trained in psychology.
Well, my problems kind of tie in with wanting to become a priest.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm not really satisfied with my life. I keep doing things for kicks, but the fun kind of fizzles out of things pretty fast.
Can you tell me some of the things you've been doing?
Sure. I used to tie girls up and then jerk off, but now I'm getting some urges that are becoming very hard to ignore.
What type of urges are we talking about?
Well, that's where the whole priest thing comes into play. You guys protect rapists.
And what makes you think rapists are protected by the church?
Oh, come on. Don't play that game with me. You don't have to admit to me that you fuck little boys. I'd rather fuck a girl, but that's your business. But I know whatever a priest chooses, the church will back him up.
I'm really at a loss here. Are you saying you want to join the priesthood because you think the church condones rapists?
Not all rapists, but priests can rape people, right? Well, I know I'd still get yelled at, but the victim sues the church, not me. You just move me to another place where I can rape young girls again, right?
Please don't be upset about what I